Hello and welcome to You Beauty, the podcast for your face. I am Sarah Marie and with me is Kelly, my beautiful co-host.
Kelly McCarran, and we are here to talk about all things brows.
Absolutely. I mean, we're talking brows, but your eye makeup is gorgeous.
Thanks.
You have like orange and pink with a touch of yellow.
It's actually not blended that well, so let's not look too closely, but you know what? It's out there.
It looks good. It goes with your pink nails.
It does actually. I've got purple toenails. I've got a yellow dress on. I'm just very colourful.
Mm-hmm. And I'm the opposite end. I'm all sorts of neutral.
You really are. You've got some nice bejangles around your neck though.
I've bejangled my neck. My nails are chrome, nude chrome. I've got nude chrome. I've got browns in my eyes and a neutral lip. And
I'm like, colour threw up on me a little bit.
I need to add colour when I see you.
Neither of our brows have colour because we are not doing Joker-inspired makeup.
No.
But both of us have very different
brow lives.
Exactly.
We live very different brow lives.
Can you tell me a little bit about your brow history?
Well, believe it or not, I'm the one that's half Arab and I'm the one that hasn't.
And I'm the hairy one.
And you're the hairy one.
I'm the white one and I'm the hairy one.
Yeah, like what happened? Like I didn't get the good brows, the good Arab lashes.
Any long-term newbies will know that I am one hell of a bushy bitch.
Yeah, and I am on the opposite end. I had one lady like overwax my brows once and it never grew back. And so I actually draw my brows on my skin. So I have a technique that when you draw it on your face, on your brows, it looks like it's your brow hair that you've just coloured in.
And I think that will help a lot of people. So can you just describe what your natural brow look like? Is it a sperm?
No.
Okay.
It doesn't have enough volume at the front to be a sperm.
So we're even smaller than a sperm.
It's like if you cut the head off the sperm.
So we just have a tail.
But long, so it goes from here to here.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really have shape. It's just kind of like a thinner curve. Not quite as thin as Pamela Anderson's brows. Maybe I would probably say, 3 to 4 millimeter width, and that's it. I don't need to tweeze my brows. I don't need to wax my brows. Nothing gross.
At all.
That's it.
So you don't need to trim?
I do nothing. I have to draw it all in. So yeah, I'm on the opposite end of you. I know. Look at you. Your jaw's on the floor.
I'm my jaw is actually on the floor because I have to hair remove in some capacity several times a week.
Wow.
I have the hairiest, well, I'm just hairy in general, but my eyebrows, which is crazy because a lot of people that grew up, like millennials, they waxed off their brows or someone else did when they were younger. I did that. I went through the sperm brow Pam Anderson stage when I was younger and had nothing. And I just used to shave them and they just would grow back. And look, they grow out, they grow up, they grow down.
Wow.
They are so hairy. So I have to get rid of the hairs several times a week or I would look like John Howard / Elmo.
I was always envious of people who could just use that brow colour tint mascara. So I went through a phase where I really wanted my brows to grow back. So I was using that lash and brow growth serum.
Oh, yeah.
It worked not too well on my eyebrows, but it worked so well to grow hair that my hair on my head connected to my eyebrows. And
what?
Yeah, so I had to stop using it and just wax it off.
Wait, so you got a hairy forehead?
Literally from here to here, the hair just started growing around my eyes. And so I was like, okay, I need to wax this off and stop using it because my eyebrow hairs aren't gaining any benefit or my lashes, but my head, I'm turning into a werewolf.
Chewbacca.
I'm Chewbacca, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It was Lilash, I think, the brand.
Oh.
So it is good, but
it works.
It works.
But not in the area you wanted it to.
No, exactly. So what I do, and it's so funny because it looks like we both brought literally the same pencil. So
exactly.
It's obviously really good.
But you do have, you do have 2 sets of tweezers there.
I have 2 sets of tweezers because my husband has the hairy Arab gene. And when I had clients, I love Tweezerman. They are so accurate and you can actually send them back to get serviced for free.
Stop it.
So they realign your tweezers. So it's perfect.
Can I have a play?
Yeah. And so he constantly see
that's
that.
A good,
and look
good.
at this one, right? I'll explain both of them to you.
Oh my goodness.
See how sharp that is?
That is perfect for getting those sparse brows on the...
That you can't get with the normal tweezers. Okay.
I need these.
So Tweezerman is something that came out, donkey's years ago. I've had them for ages. You've got the angled tweezer and you've got the really pointy one. So the angled one, obviously you would use it how you'd use a normal tweezer. The really sharp pointy one, if you've got ingrown hairs, it's designed for ingrown hairs.
Or those fine
the very
ones.
fine ones. Even for men, I found a lot of their advertising for this when I was looking up tweezers for my husband was for men because of exactly what he does. Like he has the thick hair that he's worried about ingrowns, but he can't tweeze it with this. So you're able to, it's like so accurate. And because it's perfectly aligned, it's one of those tweezers you don't want to drop because if you drop it, you don't want it to misalign, but you just send it back and they realign it for you and give that back to you.
That is amazing. Are they expensive?
Back in the day, they used to be, I feel like $60 or something like that. But I feel like maybe they're around the $30 mark or something. But you invest in
It's
them.
a one-time purchase.
That's it. And the fact that they service it and like some of these, I mean, I have a small silver set and I've had that for like 15 years or something. Like you really just keep them. Like it's better than having the cheapies. And when you're holding it, it feels good. It doesn't feel like you're squeezing and you have to press it too hard. Like it's actually amazing. Like I love.
After you've used a cheap pair of tweezers, you notice using a good pair.
100%. You could never go back. Tweezerman, I saw I think their PR or something emailed me recently. And, just doing a promo for, I'm sure you might have heard of Tweezerman. And I was like, there's nothing you can give me. I have everything.
You're like a huge fan right here.
Yeah, I agree with you. Tweezerman is amazing. I have everything. I don't need it, but thank you for reaching out because I genuinely love their stuff.
Yeah.
I always go Tweezerman if I'm getting tweezers.
Okay, well, I'm going to order some of those. Oh, however, I do love my pair. So these do get a workout most days because most days, if I'm looking at my face, there's a hair.
Okay.
So I'm just going to tell you about my brow shaping journey because it's quite a long one. Well, it's not quite a long one, but it's just involved. So I didn't bring them in because they're kind of gross and also I didn't have any at home. I must have used them. But I used those tiny little strips of facial wax, the Nair or the...
You warm them up and you peel it open.
And then you cut them. I cut them so that I can put them in any which way. I do my own brows, which a lot of people are horrified by, but... they're very hairy. I know what works. Maybe a brow technician, I'm sure they could do a better job, but I'm surprisingly as low maintenance as possible. When anything I can do at home, I'm going to just do at home rather than having to book an appointment and then go and bother around with doing it. So I do that every couple of weeks. And in between, though, I have to use tweezers. I also have to trim them because they grow out as well. So to trim them, I'll usually use the end of a spoolie and I brush them up and then all of the hairs that are above the line of my brow, I then trim and then the same thing on the way down because otherwise they just end up going too far out.
Yes, yeah.
I also, because I have such a hairy face, will use a derma blade around just to shape them a little bit better if I'm getting really blonde hair sort of above because otherwise I find that I'll look at my face in photos and it's where does her brow start?
Can I ask you a question about the derma blade? Do you just use it on your brows or do you
use it on my whole face.
Oh, you do it on your whole face. Okay. Because I have never used it. I'm waiting for it to arrive after we spoke about it the other week. I'm so scared to use it. I borderline want to do it here.
I promise
you. So you can tell me if I'm doing it wrong.
Firstly, though, but you're not hairy, so you might not even get that much.
I wouldn't use it on my brows. I'm hairy, on this side.
Oh my God, it's going to be a
face.
game changer for you.
And my chin, like a billy goat. Sexy.
Sexy. You are going to be the biggest fan. I promise you, it will not grow back thicker or darker. Okay. I've been doing it for 10 years. I think sometimes there are some horror stories, but I'm pretty sure that person just got PCOS because it's scientifically impossible for your hair to grow back thicker and darker because all it's doing is cutting it off at it's cutting it like you're trimming grass or whatnot. So although it might feel a bit coarser the first time growing back, that's only because it's got a blunt end. It doesn't have
Does it keep growing back like that whenever you do it?
No.
It just gets finer?
I never ever notice it. It has never changed on my face. It's just, and I do it all the time. It's honestly just the best thing just for smoothing out, getting rid of your billy goat chins and any sideburns or really hairy foreheads that then you're like, where does my eyebrow start?
Oh my God, I feel like the first time I do it, I have to do it here.
You do. Maybe
Let's
we
do it
I can
here.
do it. I did my sister's for the first time. She was shocked and horrified by how much hair came off.
100%, let's do it.
Yes,
Okay,
that'll be really fun.
Yeah.
I have a little hack that I wanted to tell everyone at home about if you wanted to do your own brows at home.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Anastasia Beverly Hills method for mapping your own brow. And it's basically you just use any pencil to get your perfect shape. So you start at the side of your nose, and when you run it in a line upwards, that's where your eyebrow should start. Does that make sense?
Yes, but I think you're too far out.
Yeah, sorry, I don't have a mirror, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't have a mirror, so I actually can't tell what I'm doing.
But that's pretty good. That's
That's
pretty
where
on
your
par.
eyebrow starts. So you like wax everything and pluck whatever is in between.
Yes.
Then where your arch should where the highest point of your eyebrow should be, same thing, you're on this corner of your nose, and then you run it through your pupil. But like just looking straight ahead in the mirror, you run it through your pupil, and wherever that peak is, that is where your arch should be. So that's the highest point of your eyebrow. And then you run it, once again, from the side of your nose to the corner of your eye, straight up in the line, and that's where your eyebrow should end.
Absolutely.
So that's how you map your eyebrow, and that's how you can more easily shape it at home.
And the one thing I hate, like my pet peeve when it comes to brows, is people making their brows so much longer than it needs to be.
Yeah.
Because it just drags. It doesn't only just drag your face, but it makes everything look faker and not in a good way. Like not fake as in like I look fab. Like,
I think it makes you look like
drags you down.
Yeah, like it
you
kind of
you don't
your
have that
face.
freshness. Everything needs to be like lifting, right, and fresh. Whereas if you're doing that, you're dragging everything down and looking like angry. So I think doing it like that is a good because it's like some people do it like this,
they
and it's
just
too
don't
low.
like cut that tail off.
Exactly, cut that tail off. And it's so funny because we have the same eyebrow pencil with us.
Huge fans.
Yes, huge fans. I have spoken about this pencil before. This is the Benefit, my precisely my brow pencil. I use the 3.5 in the
So do
medium
I.
brown. 3.5?
Yeah.
Oh my God, see? Look at the
How crazy is
differences
that?
in our colour of our brows. So I use it.
I actually maybe they're quite similar then. It's just that mine are probably a lot darker than people would assume. Well, I like them to look a lot darker anyway.
Yeah, but it's probably the lightness you use it because I do find it's adjustable. I just kind of press over
yes,
it.
I'm very light-handed.
Yeah,
with
and
mine.
I don't like using dark brown because it's just too harsh and angry. I also use the pomade. So what I do is I shape my brows how I want. The outline of my brows, I softly shape them.
With that pencil?
With the pencil first.
Okay.
Okay, so that way I have like a guide. I go very minimal on the inner corners towards the nose because I'm going to use the pomade to kind of create like a softness and some fake hair there.
Yep.
Then I get, again, 3.5 in the Benefit brow pomade. I find it really waterproof.
It's so good.
amazing. I use it with this brush. So this is the IT Cosmetics
That's a great
eyebrow
brush.
and it's got like the brush is like a fence.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So you've got the spoolie. So you would comb your brows, like what you do when you're trimming your brows. And then you use this through your brow from the outer part. And what's left on the brush, you're flicking it up. So you're creating like a fake hair look.
You look like you've got hair
there.
like
yeah.
it's hair.
I draw my brows in more because they stop a little further out than what I like and I make them thicker. So that brush is great. Anything like that makes it lower maintenance, I feel like is really good. You can just use a regular brow brush if you want, but I love that this has that fencing look to it. But yeah, those are my like top if you want it to look like your hair.
How long do your brows take you roughly?
It probably takes me the longest to do my brows, but I'm probably like 5 minutes on my brows. Like I'll spend a good 5 minutes on them, max.
That is the difference between having to draw the hairs, I guess,
Yes.
and like mine would be 20 seconds.
Yes, because if I did 20 seconds, it would look so off shape. It would look really weird.
like you've drawn your eyebrows on.
Yes, exactly.
So all I do is I just use a little bit of the pencil to fill in any gaps, just like where it's not like because I'm quite fair, it's quite like it can look like really, really blonde in some areas. So when I've got them tinted, I don't need to even use this. And then I'll just like fill them in just wherever and make them a little bit more defined. And then I just go in with a clear brow gel to make sure nothing like just day to day, nothing too heavy handed, like just something that's just going to make sure that they don't fly away. If I'm going out though, then I like will set them in place, but just brush that through. I always brush out and upwards.
See, my brow hairs are different directions.
Oh.
So I remember being told by a specialist that the front you can brush up. About halfway onward, I need to brush sideways.
Yeah, kind of like
because
up sideways, not...
No, so more...
Or just sideways.
A little bit more sideways. Because when I do it up, it just wasn't sitting right for my brow. So I do the inner part up and then the rest... I kind of start doing up, but then I adjust the outer parts more to the side just because that's how my eyebrows have been sitting. So if I am going to be drawing my brows, I'm not drawing individual hairs with the pencil. I'm actually just softly, let me get my phone so I have a mirror, basically. So if I am doing my brows, I am basically drawing on the skin a little back and forth to make the shape.
Oh my God, the way that you're doing that's giving me the chills because you're doing it so gently.
Oh, yeah, and if I want to go harder, like to get it a darker color, then
I want you to like tickle me right now because like you're just so gentle. You would have a heart attack if you... I'm so aggressive when I'm doing my face. I literally am like...
Oh my God.
And then I'm like... Done! Like,
if I did that, my eyebrows would look horrendous. It'd just go too dark. It'll go crazy. So I have to actually be like, okay, on this area I'm pressing a little firmer, on this area I'm pressing a little less, but I'm not actually drawing individual hairs. And then when I'm using the brush, because it's like the fence, then I know my little fence brush, then it naturally like, let's say I'm doing this. Oh, let's say I'm doing the inner part here. I'll be going, okay, and up, up, like little brushes. When I am doing the inner part, like the first quarter of my brows, I'm going up. And then when I need to fill in on the skin, I'm going kind of sideways and up. And then on halfway out of my brow, I'm going outward. I don't necessarily have to go up. It's kind of like out and up a little bit at an angle. Yeah. Just because I don't want it to be harsh, like that straight line. So if you're kind of...
Remember back in the day that was like was the thing Sharpie brow where it was like someone's just...
jet black eyeliner like a panda. Yeah. Remember?
And then you'd like use your concealer to like draw on and then highlight and just make sure that everything was so sharp edges.
Silver highlight, babes.
2016. What a time. What a time.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, but that's what I do. So like if I'm drawing it angled up, I'm not like making it like a harsh line.
Yeah.
So you're brushing through, so you're just making it like it's hair through. You're basically emphasizing the hair you have and then making it a little darker on the skin so it blends in.
Yeah.
Rather than individual hairs.
Okay.
I don't actually, you use the gel brow, I don't need to set it because the pomade is waterproof.
Yes, okay.
So I put that through my brow already, so it's on my brow. So that's it, it sets. So once it's dry, it sets. I don't have to do anything.
I use the brow gel simply because if I don't use anything, it's actually that the product comes off, it's that they'll move in all different directions. So I'll, wipe my face or something and then I'll look in the mirror and my brow's like that way and that way. So just because there are so many hairs, I sort of need to keep them. It's kind of like hairspray. Like it just means that they're not going to go everywhere.
Well, I used to use hairspray for like my clients. I used to spray hairspray in the disposable mascara
Probably worked
ones.
really well.
Yeah, it did. And just like brush that through because I found it a little easier to control sometimes than the gels, and it lasted ages because you have this giant can, and sometimes I was doing hair and makeup, so I always had hairspray with me. But yeah, it's just and then brush it through their brows, and
they stayed all
really
day.
Well. Yeah.
Okay, Sarah Murray, what's your final tip?
Well, I think it definitely has to be the hairspray. Like if you don't have a brow gel, definitely just like you can use a spoolie at the end of your eyebrow pencil, or just like the disposable spoolies that I showed on the last episode. Spray it with hairspray and then just comb that through your brows after you've done your eyebrows.
Mine would definitely be the mapping out of your brows. You don't have to pay someone to do your eyebrows. You can absolutely just do it yourself. Even if you like pay someone to do them, then just pluck strays when they come through, and then you don't have to get them done as often.
Yes. Love that. I love that. And the mapping of the brows is so important, because even if you're drawing them in, you use the mapping of the brows.
Exactly. Shout out to Amelia Singson, who taught that to me. She got taught by Anastasia, and then she taught me.
Yeah.
And I thought it was life-changing.
It's a good little trick. We've had that in the industry for ages.
Yeah.
It's amazing that like these big makeup artists and these big brand products are able to like share that to people who don't know.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Ubies. We hope that you've loved this episode. Let us know what you think. Make sure you rate and review.
Bye.
Bye.